Scorpio is represented by the eighth house. The number 8, if you keep it horizontally, it represents the infinity symbol. And that's what I think Scorpio is. Hi everyone, today's video is a continuation of my Sun Sign series, and today I'm going to be talking about Scorpio Sun Sign. So Scorpio is probably the only sign in the zodiac which has so many animals and so many representations in the zodiac. So you have the scorpion, you have the lizard, you have the eagle, you have the phoenix, you have the dove. 5 different representations of Scorpio energy. And it is a very complex energy. Scorpio is deeply misunderstood. People say you can either love or hate a Scorpio. There is no in between. And that's because Scorpio rules the root chakra. The root chakra, we have 7 main chakras in the body, and the root chakra is located at the base of your spine. In practical terms, the root chakra represents any and all of your insecurities in this life. And these are insecurities to do with wealth, to do with how you view yourself as a person, deep psychological issues, anything that is hidden and suppressed, that is to do with your base chakra, your root chakra. So Scorpio represents this energy. So Scorpio people are like a mirror to the world. I think all the 3 water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, they are all here to teach us a lesson. They are all here to heal us in some way. Scorpio does this by holding up a mirror to us. So that is why people say that Scorpio is intense. Scorpio Sun sign people, you can either love them or hate them. There is always a strong reaction that these people give off in other people. Why is that? Because Scorpio, like I said, it's like they hold up a mirror to you. And if you are not on a spiritual journey, if you have not faced up to your own demons, then when the Scorpio person holds up this mirror to you, you're going to hate it. Because you dislike what you see in the mirror in front of you. But if you're on a spiritual journey, and if you're on the quest for moving ahead and transcending in this life path, then being with a Scorpio can actually help you move further in life. It's the greatest healing journey that you can experience. You will start to realize your own shadow side, your own demons, your own issues that you need to work on. So, and Scorpio sun signs do this unknowingly. They don't even have to try. Because this energy is so powerful in them, in their energy field, other people get affected by them, and knowingly or unknowingly they start to work on their issues and they start to get healed. Scorpio is a healer. Scorpio in traditional astrology is like the magician card in tarot. It is the alchemist, the person who transcends, the person who takes something from the hidden, the occult side, and then turns it into something that is powerful. It's deeply healing. That is Scorpio energy. So, like I said before, there is an ancient saying that says, if you try to correct a fool, never try to correct a fool because they will just hate you. But if you try to correct a wise person, they will actually appreciate you. So that is why I said, if a Scorpio is showing you something that you need to face up to, some issue in your life, something that you haven't addressed, it can be anything, your own insecurities about something, about relationships, about money, about your own perception, the way you view yourself as a person. It can be any insecurity. But if you are not aware of it, and if you don't know yourself, basically that's what it means. If you don't know yourself, then if a Scorpio is trying to show you the way, you are going to hate it because you're not ready for that spiritual path yet. But if you're on a spiritual path, and if you're ready to heal, and if you're a self-aware person, somebody who knows all their own flaws and where their shadow side is, if a Scorpio is trying to tell you something, through the way they are acting, you will actually pick up on it and you will appreciate them for it, because it will show you the path forward to heal and to move forward in this life. So that is what Scorpio energy is. Now, Scorpio, like I said earlier, it's represented by 5 different animals and symbols. So at the very first level, you have the scorpion. What is the scorpion? The scorpion is the one that at this level, usually most Scorpios have evolved. Like usually they are at the scorpion stage when they are younger, like probably when they're teenagers or like 10 to 15 or 18 years. That's when they are probably at this stage. But most adult Scorpios have moved past this stage. They've worked on their issues. So you have the scorpion stage, that is the scorpion, which basically stings other people. Sometimes it even stings itself. So that's what plays out. So what happens is at the scorpion stage, these people are going to be quite revengeful. They might be revengeful to an extent where they don't mind doing revenge at the cost of it hurting themselves also. So that's what they mean when they say, stinging the other person. They don't mind stinging the other person even if they're stinging themselves, that kind of a thing. So that's the first stage. That is probably I would call it the most unevolved stage. It's the raw Scorpio energy. But after that you have the lizard stage. The lizard stage, also called the gray lizard stage, is the type of Scorpio who is not vengeful really, but they really don't have any passion towards life. It's kind of like they're living in this gray existence. Like and that is actually a very bad thing for Scorpios, because Scorpio is a very passionate sign. So being in the gray lizard stage is kind of like being trapped in a cage where you don't see anything positive in life. I mean, basically at the gray lizard stage, the Scorpio is somebody who has not moved past, has not, been able to move to the next stage. So they are not at the scorpion level where they're stinging everybody and taking vengeance and revenge and everything. But they're also not really doing much with their lives. Like they've sort of resigned themselves to fate. They're like, okay, this is how life is going to be, this is how it's supposed to be, and I can't do anything about it. So they are sort of like passive spectators in their own life. Rather than taking charge in their life, they are the type of people who will just watch life go by, instead of taking the leadership and doing things to improve their life. That is the gray lizard stage. And these are also the type of people who may hate other people who are successful. So these are the type of people who probably won't go after success themselves because they feel like there's no point in doing it. And if somebody else is successful around them, they are going to secretly hate them. Like, they're going to be bitter towards them. That is the gray lizard stage. The next stage you have is actually what I like to call the serpent stage. The serpent stage is like they're very knowledgeable. At this stage, the Scorpio is very knowledgeable. They are past the vengeance stage. They're past the revenge stage. They don't think it does any good in taking revenge on other people. They're not in the lizard stage anymore. They are actually ready to work on their life. Just like the serpent, they are constantly changing in their life. They're shedding their old skin and they are getting a new skin. So they are constantly evolving. They're always changing. Scorpio is always about change. If you look at the infinity symbol, like I said earlier in the video, what is infinity? It's basically the number 8 kept horizontally. So it's like this, right? It's like always moving. So one thing ends, the other thing begins. It's like death and rebirth all the time. It's like snake skin. Just like a snake sheds its skin, the Scorpio at this serpent stage is also always evolving. So you may find many Scorpios who are in this stage, they may be going into hibernation. Like they will be the type of people who say like, I'm a work in progress right now. I am working on myself. They may describe themselves as, being in a cocoon like a butterfly. So they are sort of morphing into something better. So you will find a lot of Scorpios who take time out in their lives to recharge. So let's say if they've gone through some kind of trauma in their life and they want to recover from it, they want to move forward. Many Scorpios, and I've seen this around in my circle of friends, They actually take some time out, maybe a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, and they work on themselves. They realize their own issues, they heal their own shadow side, they do inner child work, and they really try to look past their own issues. And at this stage you will not see them much, like you will not see them being very active in the social life, or you will not see them being very out and about, because they are sort of in hibernation, like just like a butterfly, the caterpillar and the cocoon, and it goes into the pupa stage, and then finally it reaches the butterfly stage. So this is their time of healing, so this is their time of protection. They need to keep that guard up, and so they don't really like to show themselves to the world that much at this during this stage. And once they are healed, they become the butterfly, they become something completely transformed, like an elevated status. So that is the serpent stage. The serpent stage is pretty much like, they will guard their own territory, they are not going to do harm to other people, but if somebody provokes them, like openly provokes them, then they're going to hit back. That's the serpent energy. The serpent by itself doesn't really tend to attack people. It guards its own territory, but if you try to provoke it, then it's going to get, then it's going to sting you. It's going to like inject you with its poison. That's the serpent stage. The next stage is what I like to call the eagle stage. The eagle stage is when the Scorpio has evolved. They have worked past their own traumas, their own issues, their own flaws, their own dark side, and now they are able to see things from a higher perspective. What is the eagle? The eagle flies high above, and it's able to get a bird's eye view. They call it a bird's eye view because it's able to see something from really high up, and is able to see the big picture. So these are the type of Scorpios who don't get caught up in dramas. They don't really get caught up in those kind of issues. They learn to move past it, and they learn to look at the bigger picture. So these are very wise Scorpios. They know how to use their time, energy efficiently. They don't like giving their energy to people who are going to drain them. They really know how to manage their time and energy very effectively. They are also very peace-loving people. Just like the eagle, they are just flying through the sky. They are doing their own thing. They're minding their own business, and they're not out to get anybody. And if somebody tries to provoke them, also, at the eagle stage, the Scorpios are not going to try and get back to the other person. They are just going to move on. So if somebody else is trying to provoke the Scorpio, they are not going to retaliate. They'll just cruise along because they know that their time and energy is valuable, and they know that the other person is simply trying to bring them down. So they are not going to invest any time and energy in the other person. So that is the eagle stage. Then you have the phoenix stage. The phoenix stage is again another very deeply evolving stage where the Scorpio is trying to move to the next level, even higher than the butterfly stage. So it's like they work on their own issues, and they basically go through a lot of turbulence in their life, and they are coming out of the ashes just like the phoenix. They're rising up from the ashes and becoming a better person. So these are the type of Scorpios who are like a joy to be around. They are nothing like the first level of Scorpion, where it's all about stinging and taking revenge and all the negative energy. These types of Scorpios at the Phoenix stage have really transcended their own limitations, their own barriers. They are all about excelling in life and being the best version of themselves. That's what the Phoenix stage is. It's being the best version of yourself, being able to recognize your own demons, your own flaws, and going through that fire to be able to rise up and be a better version. And then finally you have the dove stage, which is the highest, the most evolved energy of Scorpio. These are the type of people who have overcome all their limitations, and they have nothing but peace and love for humanity. So they are so far removed from all that past thing of being revengeful and negative and being, trying to get back at other people, that these people are just willing to live and let be. That's pretty much how they operate. They have overcome all their own issues. They know who they are. They know completely who they are. And like I say, Scorpio is about control. But again, control is something that you have control over yourself. You cannot control other people or other situations around you. You cannot control situations around you. That is what Scorpio's greatest lesson is. One of their greatest lessons is to be able to be in control of themselves. And I feel that at the dove stage and at the phoenix stage, a Scorpio is so self aware, they know so much about themselves that nothing phases them. Like if somebody comes and walks up to them and tells them like you are this, you are that, or like tries to badmouth them, it's not going to phase the Phoenix Scorpio or the Scorpio at the dove stage, because they already know who they are. So nothing that you tell them or do to them is going to affect them. So these are the different stages of Scorpio. It is a very, very powerful sign. There's a reason why Scorpio rules the 8th house, because like I said, they rule the root chakra, the base chakra. And this is also to do with Kundalini, the serpent energy. So Kundalini is basically, once you awaken Kundalini, you must have seen it in pictures, like these two snakes crisscrossing, and then it goes up to the crown chakra. So that's Kundalini. It's a deep energy, a very, very powerful energy that once awakened, it basically goes through your entire spinal region right up to the crown chakra, and you basically transcend this earthly existence while living in this physical body. So it is just supremely powerful. So Scorpio is that energy. Now, what do they mean when they say, Scorpio has trust issues, or they are intense and they don't trust people easily? Now, so the 8th house is also to do with intimacy. Now, the 8th house is also hidden. It's also suppression. So what can happen in practical terms is a lot of Scorpio suns may have faced some kind of trauma in their earlier life when they were younger. It could have been some kind of abuse, some kind of trauma that they faced, because of which they have had to grow up very quickly at a young age. So many Scorpio suns go through this period in their life where at a very young age they were subjected to some kind of trauma, and because of this they basically had to put up walls around themselves, because they did not want to trust anybody after that. Because when you are abused, or if you are violated at a young age, then you will be very, very careful about who you trust later on. So you will not let everybody into your life. So these people, they would have had to build up walls around themselves just to avoid this kind of thing from happening again to them. So that's why a lot of Scorpios have trust issues. They don't like to trust people unless and until they have proved themselves worthy. So a lot of Scorpio suns, they don't have too many friends, like they don't have a very, very large circle. It's not like the air signs that have a very, very large circle. Even if it's not a deep friendship, like the air signs, they will have a large circle of friends. But in the case of a Scorpio, their circle is small, but they know that the friends that they have and the people that they have around them, they are real, they're genuine, and they can count on them even in death. Like, it's that kind of a bond that they have with people around them. Like the people who are close to them, they are like the ride or die types. Like, they are there with them right till death. That's the kind of bond they have. Otherwise, they don't really include people in their circle. They don't do anything casually. Like, even friendships, nothing is casual for a Scorpio. They are very all or nothing. That's what they mean when they say all or nothing. It's either this or that. Either you are my friend till my death, and you have my back, you are loyal to me as a friend, or I don't know you. That's pretty much how it is with Scorpios. So what do they mean when they say Scorpios are intense? Again, it has to do with 8th house issues. Like I said, Scorpios tend to have a lot of trust issues. They don't trust easily. So a lot of the times, like if this is a love interest, like if they're trying to get into a relationship, they will actually test the other person a lot. They will put them through a lot of tests just to see if they're trustworthy. And but at the same time, so they have these trust issues on one side where they don't want to trust that easily. They want to make sure that you are worthy of earning their trust. On the other side, all they want is a soul merging connection. 8th house is all about merging. It's all about intimacy. And this is not the kind of superficial merging, this is like soul merging. This is like soulmates, or like till death do us apart, that kind of merging. So Scorpio suns always have this push and pull, this conflict going on inside them, where on one side they do not want to trust that easily, but on the other side, all that they want is to completely merge with another person, right? So when these are two completely polar opposite feelings that they have. So when there's this constant tug of war going on inside, that creates this intensity inside them. That's why you see a lot of Scorpios as very intense people. They are very intense people. They are very passionate people. They have, if they are, it can be any passion in life. It could be their career, it could be their job, it could be something that they really enjoy doing. Whatever it is, a Scorpio is going to completely immerse themselves in that. That is going to be their passion. And you will see this passion extend in all areas of their life. So that's why they're very, very intense people. People often talk about the scorpionic stare, like a lot of Scorpio suns. When they look at you, you feel like they are staring into your soul, like they know you and they know your vulnerabilities, they know your insecurities, they know what makes you tick, they know at a psychological level how other people operate. And again, this has to do with being traumatized at a young age, because they had gone through some kind of trauma at a young age. They have had to learn these things very early on. They have had to learn how the world operates, how psychology works, how human beings work, how their minds work, because only then they can make sure that they are never hurt again. The worst thing a Scorpio fears is to be vulnerable to somebody and then having the other person take advantage of them. That is the worst fear of any Scorpio. If you see Leonardo DiCaprio, the kind of movies he does, most of them are super intense and he really immerses himself in that role. So whatever character he's playing, every expression in his eye, in his facial expression, in his body language, he becomes that character. So every movie is different, every character is different, and there are very subtle signs that you will see in his acting. It's not even acting, because that's his passion. That's how much he immerses himself in his work. So that's the kind of passion that Scorpios have. They give it their everything, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a career, they give it everything. But they have to be interested in it. That has to be their passion. If it's not their passion, then they won't bother about it. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is betrayal and vengeance. So this is a common topic that is discussed about Scorpios, that if you betray a Scorpio, they are going to be extremely vengeful, they will be out to get revenge on you, and you will be completely subjected to their mercy, like they'll be stinging you, their poison, etc., etc. But like I said earlier in this video, it all depends on what stage that Scorpio sun is in. If they are at the Scorpion stage, which is like the lowest, the first raw Scorpio energy, then yes, they are going to sting you. They are going to take their revenge on you. But if they have moved on, if they have worked on their own issues, most Scorpios do that. Like very few Scorpios are still stuck in that Scorpion stage, unless and until it's really bad. But if they have moved on, then they are not going to be vengeful towards you. They will just cut you off. That's like the best revenge that they do. They cut you off from their life. So why is that? Because they become like ice. They become cold. Why is that? Because Scorpio is a water sign, and it's also fixed water. It's a fixed sign, like the other signs like Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. Scorpio is also a fixed sign. So what is fixed water? Fixed water is ice. So when they cut you off from their life, it's pretty much like they have iced you out. So that's why on a lot of astrological forums and articles, you'll find the Scorpio has cut me off. They're not talking to me anymore. What happened? I don't know. I didn't think that I did anything wrong, but suddenly I'm not in their life anymore. But there's always something that the person did wrong. They just don't realize it. But there is always 100%, there is always a reason why a Scorpio cuts you off. It is never random. It is never just because they decided to one fine day cut you off. They are actually some of the most tolerant, some of the most peace loving, some of the nicest people. You know, they tolerate a lot of nonsense from people, but it's only after they have reached their peak threshold, when they just cannot take it anymore, and where you have completely abused the relationship, you have just kept on taking from them, that's when they completely decide to cut you off. And that cutting off is more because they want to protect themselves. It's more like a self protection measure, because they cannot give any more to you, right? Because you cannot have a relationship where the other person is only taking from you. So that's when a Scorpio will cut the other person off. It's more of a self-protection thing, and the other person usually suffers because they've kind of grown used to the Scorpio energy. They kind of have started taking the Scorpio for granted, taken advantage of them. So now the Scorpio has decided to cut them off because they don't want to give their energy to that other person anymore. They're just moving on with their life. So that is that's the kind of revenge that Scorpio usually does. So moving on to the crystals and the colors. So usually, because Scorpio is related to the root chakra, any stone that is black or red in color is excellent for Scorpio. So what I mean by that is stones like black onyx, black tourmaline. Scorpios generally tend to be affected by psychic attacks a lot, because a lot of people, they don't like this energy, because like I said, Scorpio is like a mirror, you know. So people who are not on their spiritual path, they will actually hate Scorpios. So it's very important that Scorpios protect their energy field, and for this black tourmaline crystal is amazing. And I recommend that Scorpios wear this on their left hand, because the left side is the receiving side, right side is the side that we give. That's why as healers, we always use our right hand to heal other people. So always wear the black tourmaline on your left hand, maybe as a bracelet, as a ring, whatever, but wear it on your left hand. It'll protect your energy field, it'll protect your psychic field, it'll keep you calm and centered and in control. So black and red stones are excellent for Scorpio. Black color and red color, so if they're wearing, you know, the clothes that they wear, if they're in the colors of red and black, those are very good for Scorpio. Even white, because the Scorpio is also represented by the dove symbol. So white is a purifying energy. So clothes that are white in color are also very good for Scorpio. So this was my take on Scorpio, guys. I hope you liked the video. I tried to cover all the aspects of Scorpio in this video. This is a little longer video compared to my other sun signs. And that's because Scorpio is a complicated energy. It is severely misunderstood. That's why I wanted to talk about different aspects of Scorpio. So if you like this video, if you are a Scorpio sun and if you relate to this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate the love and support. And if you like my channel, if you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single week. I do natal chart readings. If you are struggling with your life in some way, if you have a relationship problem, or if you're trying to move ahead in life, if you're in a career and you don't like the job and you want to move on, but you don't know what career path is good for you, I can help you understand that. If you're having financial trouble, I can help you navigate that through astrology, because your birth chart is basically a map of your life. It's how you're supposed to be in this life. So I can help you interpret your birth chart and tell you what is the best course of action. A lot of people do this already, a lot of astrologers do this already, but what I do differently is I give you an action plan. I give you a set of practical recommendations that you can follow every single day to get practical, real results. So get in touch with me if you want a reading done. My page is on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Venusianscorp. Or you can drop me an email at astroluck111@gmail.com and let me know if you'd like to get a reading done. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.